hello there. I am Taylor, and you are listening to the Surviving Maine Podcast Deep-Dive interview series. About over a year ago now, I spoke with most of the cast of Surviving Maine Season 4, just weeks after they played the game. So these interviews are untainted by the edited show. It's just how each player remembers their game, what was important to them, what were their favorite moments, what are their regrets. These interviews I've been doing since season 2, and they're just kind of a way for the players to have a cathartic expression of their game. So this is my interview with our third place finisher, a man of few words, Seth. Seth, hello. It's so good to see you.
Hi. Good evening, Taylor.
Good evening. Seth, you are not a huge Survivor fan, but you played this game and made it to the very end. Tell me, how did you do this?
I guess a little bit of, being strong in the competitions and having to, I guess, eventually backstab a few friends,
Yes.
I guess that's how I ended up in the final 3, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. Now, something that I didn't know until very recently is that you know Aaron in real life. You guys are like treasure hunters together or some shit? Are you like on a channel?
He runs a YouTube channel. I just kind of do like Facebook Reels. But we've known each other about 20 years. We was in the fire service as kids and young adults. We kind of broke off for a few years, got back to being friends, closer friends after his father passed away. Who was great friends of mine as well. We've been hanging out since.
Okay, so which of you found Surviving Maine first and decided to do it?
It was me. I found it first, and then I posted the link in his group. He kind of just raced ahead and put an application in. I was like, maybe we can do it next year. I think that'd be cool. And he got an application in, and I was like, you son of a bitch, now I want to try it. So I did one, I think like a month later, and she called me up as a replacement. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So you may have not even made it on, but someone else like dropped out or something?
Yeah, that was what I was told. It was a replacement for someone, and I was like, sign me up. Let's do it.
Wow, cool. Did Liza know that you knew Aaron?
Yeah, that's a question for her, but I think she did.
Okay.
She was a part of Aaron's group, and we both were talking in it. So, I mean, I'm sure she.
That's right. Okay. So, So you saw the Facebook ad for Surviving Maine. You're like, this looks cool. You posted it on Aaron's group for his Outdoors with Aaron group on Facebook. And then he was like, I'm applying right now.
Pretty much. Yeah. He went out and did, I think like a 6-7 minute long video. That was it. And it kind of like made me more wanting to do it too.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. So when you show up, you're on the cast, you show up, what were you expecting and what happened that first day?
The first day I already wanted to leave. I was just kind of petrified with, the anxiety and all these new people. It was a rush for sure. But it was something I kept telling myself I have to do. I have to put some effort into it, and I guess that's what got me through.
Okay, so the effort for you, because you are already an outdoorsy guy, you knew how to make fire with flint before. Was it the being around people? Was it like being around people younger, or does that not matter?
It's just people I don't know. I'm a very, family-oriented guy. Like I have my family and very few friends, and that's it. So it was definitely a big step out of my comfort zone to put myself in that situation.
Yeah, living with a bunch of strangers for 4 days.
And just somehow immediately bonding with them was amazing. That was
awesome. Cool. I'm so glad to hear that. Okay. So that first day, who's on your tribe that you start with? And
oh geez. Yeah.
If you don't remember names, it's okay. But who did you bond with that day?
The first kind of day, I don't think we really bonded much. We were more just kind of feeling each other out. At least that was me. Yeah. Like I didn't immediately make no best, number one or anything like that. But Madison ended up and Lauren were probably my closest allies.
Yes. Yeah. And that's funny because they were like the youngest women on the tribe. And you were probably one of the older men.
And the weird, I've always had a closer relationship with women. I was raised by my mother. I have 3 daughters, just a wife, so I mean, I always, I guess, felt a more of a secure connection with women.
Nice.
And I guess that speaks to Callie and Amelia too, so.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that. Right. Okay. So, that first day you play like 4 challenges or something. Lauren has to go off and do some journey, and you're just probably like, I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
Yeah. Zach and Adam were kind of, and more, they had kind of been the masterminds kind of telling me what was happening and what to expect or kind of thing like that. So.
Okay. What did they tell you about when Lauren went off? Like what were the conversations for those like 3 hours?
Pretty much, like I was told that, it's a choice, there's like a competition or a choice that they, towards an advantage in the game one way or the other. I didn't really totally get what the journey was until after and talking with Aaron and Lauren and all that. So, I mean, it was interesting.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So did you guys kept winning? Is that right? You just kept winning all the challenges?
We won quite a few in a row. Yeah. I think like 3 at least.
Okay. And so how did you feel about all that? How did you feel about the physical challenges?
I felt great about them. Like most of them are my strong suit. I mean, I'm a pretty physical, active guy. I can be pretty physical and active. So most of that was right up my alley, like the BB gun or throwing the axe or bean bags or even running a little bit. I'm a big boy, but I can run short distances pretty fast,
Nice. Nice. Okay. Tell me about that first night. Did you guys like stay up late or did you talk or what? Build a shelter?
I was up the latest. Sebago, the camp, is not the most friendliest for sleeping. There was 5 of them that could barely fit into this one spot, so I stayed up with the fire probably an extra hour or 2, and I slept in this little spot between a fire and a log and managed through the first night. Cool. That was a long one.
Yeah. So the next morning that day Dee Dee quit. She was not on your tribe, right?
No.
Okay. So you probably don't know much about that. Day 2, that other tribe goes to tribal to vote someone out, and it's your friend Aaron. How did you feel when that tribe came back and he wasn't with them?
Honestly, a little surprised and a little not surprised.
Okay. So what happens that second day? I'm not sure what all goes on.
It was all a blur to me. The second day, I mean, I'd have to watch the tape. I think we did a little winning. I really don't remember what happened.
I think that your tribe doesn't even, you just keep winning and you don't even do that much strategy talking because you just keep winning and you're not going to tribal. Is that right?
Yes, that is accurate for sure. We really, it wasn't much strategizing going on as having to worry about who's going home, because of our winning. Yep.
Yeah. So when you finally lose, oh, you don't lose. You don't lose. There's a swap. There's a swap.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
what happens with that? Where do you end up with the swap?
I think four of us went to Moosehead, and then I think it was Lauren and Zach stayed with Sebago. We had the numbers on Moosehead, so that wasn't much of an issue.
When you say we, who is this we with you?
The original Sebago, so me, Sandra, Adam, and Madison.
Madison. Okay, Madison goes out that night, late that night. So that's what I want to know about. How does that happen? Because I don't believe you voted for her. Is that right?
Definitely not. What happened there was somehow Madison had mentioned Sandra as being a strategic good player and that she had played in LRG before. That was about it. And I guess Sandra got word of it and immediately talked to Adam, and them two are like, well, let's get her out.
Shit.
That bothered me. Like I at that time, like I felt like me and Madison had a number, we were definitely close allies. So after Madison went, I kind of, the next vote, I believe it was, I think we lost or whatever, but Sandra was.
You got some revenge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it was a blindside of Madison, but also you. Who did you think they were going to vote for? Who did you vote for?
That night, I want to say it was Amelia.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. No, that tracks, I think, with what I was told. Okay. So that next morning, day 3, you've been out there 2 nights now. Day 3, you're a little pissed because your best person in the game, Madison, was voted out last night and you didn't know. And you guys lose a challenge. Mm-hmm. And so it's you, Amelia, and
TJ.
And so you and Amelia and TJ were working together. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Tell me how that happened. Yeah.
This is where basically I was just upset with that Madison went, so I had to flip the script on Sandra. But This is where TJ goes all out. Definitely deserves an award for it. He's like saying everybody's, that we're going to vote him out, and he's gone, and he's saying his goodbyes, and he's up in the building there giving his vote, and he's like, yes, I got an idol, like he got an idol, and just being so over dramatic. I loved it. It was great. He did say right at Tribal, he said, I'm voting for Sandra, blah, 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 blah. And that was the plan all along. Like I told him he was safe, and I wasn't lying.
Yeah. So, okay. So Sandra and Adam voted for TJ?
I believe so. Yeah. I believe that was either Amelia or TJ's who Sebago was going for at that time.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay. How did you feel when Sandra's torch got snuffed?
I felt bad. I really did, because I enjoyed her. But at the same time, like after what she did, she definitely was a threat, and I probably could have been next.
Yeah. Okay.
The worst part is she told me that she had an idol in her pocket. Yes. So
she went out with an idol. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, poor Sandra. Okay, so the next thing that happens is this merge, and you're competing in teams, right? Stacking blocks on a wobbly board.
Yeah.
How did you do in that? Did you end up on the immunity team or no? I
think third. I was part of the. I couldn't believe it myself either. I was shocked.
Awesome! Congratulations. So you're safe.
Yeah.
And then the exile people come in. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, definitely. Especially when Sandra's going like this, and I'm like, and she was doing great. I think her and Lauren were doing the best in the competition.
Wow.
And Lauren having an anxiety attack and breaking down and all this and that, managed to pull out the win. I mean, that was incredible.
Yeah. Were you rooting for anyone in particular?
Lauren. Yeah. I mean, again, like I felt like we had a good bond in the beginning, and I trusted her, as much as I trusted Madison for sure.
Yeah, you were probably the only person that wanted Lauren back in the game.
Well, she's a smart cookie. I will say that. Like, she knows what she's doing.
Yes, she
To the
does.
LRT world.
Yeah. Okay, so so you're immune, Lauren is immune and she's back. And how does it happen that Topher is the next person voted out?
I'm not sure. That not my tribe, I don't think.
You voted for, so this is the merge. So you voted for Dave, I think.
Oh, yes. Okay, Dave. Yeah. All right. I'm not sure how that I was going along with, I believe, Sebago again. I do remember voting for Dave twice, so
Okay.
I definitely regret it. One of them.
Okay. Did you get I didn't ask about the merge feast. Did you get to eat food that day?
No. We had a breakfast.
Food?
We had a breakfast at one point. I think that was
okay.
Was that merge?
I guess it was in the morning, so it would have been early. Maybe it would have been breakfast that you guys got.
Yeah, it would have been like
only the winners. Breakfast. Was it only like 5 or 6 people?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You really don't remember anything.
I really don't. I mean, it was mentally like that totally drained me just the first day. Like the whole strategy, trying to do the math and all that. Like it's not my cup of tea.
I feel you, Seth. I've only played one of these games before myself, and I couldn't remember anything afterwards, and it was 4 days too. So yeah, it's very draining.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the tape and be able to help me remember a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I know I had a blast, and I was definitely feeling strong in the competition part of it. Having a blast for sure.
Awesome. So, okay, actually, I know what I want to ask you. The night before all this, you have to compete. It's like midnight or something, and you're competing at Tribal to make a fire, right? And it's you and Allison, and I don't know who else on the other tribe, and you're pretty confident that you could do this. Tell me what happened.
I hate this part of it. I was so overconfident. Like, I had made probably, 10 fires out here at my house, even in the rain. I tried to make it hard for myself.
Wow.
Anyways, I gathered all the material. I had plenty of great stuff. I want to blame it on the flint and steel. Like, I have some really nice ones that will throw off great sparks. Mm-hmm. Those ones really didn't throw off very good sparks. So that's what I'm going to blame it. But I totally lost that one. I should have had that. Totally lost it.
Damn. How did you feel really bad about it? Did you feel embarrassed?
Yeah, I mean, I embarrassed a little bit for sure, and I was definitely just mad at myself. I think I remember going back to camp and like they were cooking rice, and I'm like, I don't even want any. I'm all set. I was a little frustrated for sure. Overconfident, 100%.
Oh shit! And not even just that. On top of that, it was Madison that was voted out. So you had lost that challenge, and then a poor Madison gets voted out. So you must have been really sad and angry and not caring at all.
I was definitely bummed. I was frustrated with how that played out. I felt like I should have done better.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So the next day, so day 3, back to day 3. I guess what happens the rest of the day, you're fine. Did you win any individual immunities?
I did. I won. I don't even remember. I think it was puzzles.
Puzzle, yeah.
Yep. And I won individual immunity with that. That was great. That was a great feeling.
Are you good at puzzles? Did you practice any?
No, I didn't practice at all. I do enjoy, puzzles.
Okay.
I don't do them often, maybe one a year, or I'll help my daughter on some, or that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. So that was just like a fun surprise that you won that.
I think it's more like the hands-on and looking at something is a good skill set that I have.
Yeah, you have that good spatial awareness. Yeah, awesome. Okay, congratulations on that individual immunity.
Yeah, that was a good victory for sure.
You got the necklace and everything. Felt all
I
good and safe.
even asked Adam. I was like, "Dude, can you take a picture of this, please?" Yeah, yeah.
Right on. Okay, so I think when you won that, Lauren gets voted out, right?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure she went home that night. Yeah.
Yeah, and then TJ goes right after that. So you had been working with up to that from the merge through this point, this end of day 3, you were working with, tell me if I'm wrong, Lauren, TJ, Amelia, anyone
Yeah.
else?
I, I think I think there was a point there where I bounced back and forth. Like I went from TJ and Amelia back to Sebago with a vote. I thought maybe there was. I can't remember exactly,
Mm-hmm.
but TJ and Amelia, I definitely was working with them towards the end. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And were you working with Callie too at sometimes?
No,
No, okay. Interesting. Because I know she plays an idol on you. So I'm curious as to how that all went down. Do you want to talk about
totally
that?
sure. I don't remember exactly how the tribal went. Um, I don't remember. Basically, my name's being said. They wrote my name down, I think, like 4 times or whatever it was. Um, Callie said something to me about she has an idol, and I'm like, "Who are you?" You know. And then she mentioned Aaron, and I kind of was, I guess, hoping that she meant she was going to play it for me, but then she stood up and played it for me, and I was absolutely shocked. After the fact, I told her, I said, I'm yours. Whatever you need, I'll vote your way. And she pretty much said that she used it because Aaron had given it to her, and she was waiting to make a big move, and she thought that was it. So,
Okay.
thank you, Callie.
Yeah, good for her. Wow. Who do you remember who goes home that time?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it was TJ.
Yeah, I think it might have been TJ.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was. Okay, it was TJ because like after that we were scrambling right there at Tribal Council, and everybody's talking amongst each other, and I'm just standing there. I'm sitting there, not saying a word. Nobody's talking to me. Callie turns around, looks at me, and says TJ. So I that's what I wrote down.
Wow.
So it was TJ.
So she just says TJ to you, and then she plays the idol later, like after the vote on you,
I think yes.
and you're a little bit surprised, but you just did what she said. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like
Yeah.
after the fact, I was like, like I thank you for saving me. Like, yeah, I'm yours. Like I was blown away by that. Like it was definitely one of the coolest parts for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so then you have that final night, and then the next morning, who's left but you, Adam, Nick, Amelia, and Callie. At that
Yep.
point, who are you trying to work with and vote with?
I was trying to stay with the girls mainly, Amelia and Callie.
Mhm.
Um, Adam and I had been together the whole time pretty much, but he was the brain. He had very smart. He was very strategic. He knew what he was doing. And I was more leaning towards maybe getting rid of him for that reason.
Yeah.
Um, so that I think that's where I was kind of placing my vote, and I'm not sure if everybody went along with it or if it was just me and the 2 girls there, but it worked out.
Was that after Allison gets voted out? Do you remember voting for her or?
Yes, yeah. I see. I keep forgetting her. She's awesome. Like, me and her, like we bawled our eyes out together. She's a hell of a soul.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. I think she went first, then Adam.
Mm-hmm. Why did she get voted out? Was she seen as a threat or what? She just wasn't in the.
Everybody's saying she was a strong competitor, and I guess she is for sure. Like as far as competition wise, she was great, and I think she was very smart strategy wise, and
Yeah.
that was a tough vote. I didn't want to see her leave.
Oh. Okay, but you did it.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes, you do. So I want to hear about the Adam vote out, because I heard from a producer that Adam kind of like had a meltdown and like was telling people that it would like, I think he told you that people were going to vote for you or something. Do you remember any of that?
I don't remember much of that. No, again, like when people were going back and forth to different people talking, like it was just getting a little confusing for me because, like, I'd be talking to you and then I'd be talking to someone else and I'd like tell them the wrong thing. So I just kind of like learned to zip my mouth shut and mainly just hung out in the shade. And when people came and talked to me, I just kind of I soaked it in, decided which way I was going to lean.
Were you afraid that you were going to be voted out that round?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely had a fear when it was, I think Allison was still in there, that I was going to go.
Okay.
After she went and it was only Nick and Adam, I felt like I had a good chance. Nick and Adam.
Yeah.
And Amelia. I felt like me and Amelia had a pretty good, relationship through that. And Callie, like I felt like I owed her, so it was, I was gonna work it out either way. So, so that way I kind of knew after Allison was gone, it was going to be a little easier, hopefully, to get past. Nick and Adam.
Okay. Callie wins this next challenge, the immunity challenge, and decides to put you and Nick into the fire making challenge together. Were you happy about that?
I was. I mean, like I told Callie, I said it's 100% your choice. Who you pick to do it. I said, but I'm happy with as far as I've made it. So like if I get put into the fire and I fail, then so be it. I figured I played pretty well. But then again, I also knew that I needed to revenge my loss with fire. So again, I'll blame those strikers. Those were just tough. They wasn't giving up the spark that I'm used to.
Yeah, it took you a long time.
It did, and I was getting frustrated. I remember like looking at Nick for a minute and just being like, all right, he's still struggling too. So, and then eventually I got it, and it was miraculously a leaf that caught. So that was good.
Wow.
That was a tough one. I didn't expect the building fire to be so tough because we was doing it at camp and it was no problem.
Right.
We actually had like a little group effort where everybody, started the fire, and it worked out well.
Cool. How did you feel winning that then? Did you feel you avenged yourself?
I did a little bit. It was tough for sure, but it was great feeling to finally make it and break the string.
Yeah. Awesome. So then that you're in the final 3. Have you seen Survivor on TV? Like, did you know what to expect here? With the,
I knew that there would be like, the conversations where, I would speak and give my piece and whatnot, but I'm not a very, I don't know. I don't know what to say in those kind of situations. Like, I don't want to say like, don't vote for them because of this, and this. I would rather just say, I had a blast, we're all equal. I feel like, everybody is deserving of the win. I felt like, between us 3, we played a hell of a game.
Yeah. Awesome. So when it came time to make those speeches, like I haven't seen any of that footage yet. Do you feel like you're pretty confident in that you made a good case for yourself?
No. I didn't know what to say exactly. Like, like I think it was Lauren made us like put our heads down and she read off the jurors' names and who would vote. And like, I think I raised my hand like 4 or 5 times, but like they were all maybes. Like I have no idea who's voting for me. Like I got 1 vote and I'm happy for that. So
yeah. Lauren voted for you. So that's good.
Really?
Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know.
Oh shit.
No, I
should have kept it a surprise.
No, that's good.
Yeah, she was your vote.
That's awesome.
Let me ask you, if you had been on the jury, if between Amelia and Callie, who would you have voted for? I'm really curious because you worked closely with Amelia, but Callie played that idol on you. Who do you think you would have voted for based on that tribal?
That's a tough one. That's a tough question. I think Callie, just because of the idol history and how that made me feel. Having it come from Aaron to her, and then to be played to save my ass was amazing. Yeah, so she probably would have got my vote.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know. Did you get to tell Aaron that like his idol wasn't wasted? It was played on you.
Yeah, I talked to him actually yesterday. We talked for about an hour, and
nice.
It was cool. Yeah, he was pretty impressed by how that worked out. I definitely thanked him. I was like, man, that's great. It's amazing how it worked out that way.
Awesome. Well, okay, we have 5 minutes left. Is there anything that happened like not on camera that you wanted to talk about, or anything else you wanted to talk about or let people know?
Not on camera. I guess, I really felt the love from the production team, just in general, George, he pointed at me once and said, I've got my eye on you or something like that. And it just, it give me like a little boost of confidence. And, I think, that was a big help. And I'm definitely interested in coming back and, maybe helping the production team next year. I think that would be awesome for me. I love working with a camera, and I think it'd be cool to work with some of those people.
Oh, I would love that. I hope you do. That's awesome. Yeah, I bet you'd feel a lot more comfortable on that side of the camera, huh?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about from your 4 days in Maine? Well, you live there, but 4 days.
Other than just, what a great bunch of people. And I'm so glad I did it. And I'm so glad it was those group of people, because they're all awesome in their own ways.
Fantastic. Would you ever play another LRG again?
I don't know. I don't know. That's okay. A good question. Okay. That's to be determined.
Maybe if Surviving Maine had a returnee season and it's some people and maybe.
Yeah. Okay. I like that idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
heroes versus villains, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, clearly you're a hero. You're on the heroes tribe, obviously.
I mean, I kind of felt like a villain a little bit, having to go behind like Adam and that's tough in a way, I counted on him and he counted on me, and I right in his back. It kind of, it's hard.
So you didn't find that fun, stabbing him in the back? You found it hard?
Yeah, I found it hard. I still man, I feel so bad for doing it, but that's part of the game. You gotta take me out before I take you out.
Yes. You did well. You did so well. 3rd place is amazing.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I definitely am.
Awesome. Well, it was so nice to talk to you about all this. Thanks for taking the time to do it.
Yep, I appreciate it. No problem at all.
And I hope you enjoy the whole season when I finally finish it and it's on YouTube.
Can't wait. I'm gonna have a watch party here with my kids and friends and family, whatever. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome, dude. Okay, cool. Well, good night.
Yes, thank you. Have a good night.